Let me respond directly to Cindy Gardner's comment on Nick Smith's page, because this kind of thinking is exactly why accountability is so hard to get in Walker County. And her comment is right here, and this was made on one of his posts from his political page on how good of a job he's doing. But when I first read this comment, or somebody sent it to me, it is not surprising. And as I said, that just shows exactly why this is so hard. First off, Cindy says the county is much safer and that Nick Smith has made so many improvements. Really? Really? Let's talk about what safety actually looks like. In the last few years, under his leadership, we've seen repeated unalivings of people suffering from mental health episodes. And we've been harping on that a lot because it's a really big deal. We've seen excessive force used, and we have seen lawsuits stacking up that the tax dollars are paying for. That's not safety. We call that failure. Next, Cindy says people are, and this is the worst one. It about makes me sick. Cindy says people are just nitpicking one singular event. And apparently, all I can figure out is she is talking about the 14-day torture and unaliving of Tony Mitchell in the Walker County Jail. Let's let that sink in. She calls the torture and unaliving of a human being one measly issue. Her words, right here. But here's the truth, though. He's not the only one. Thankfully, he is the one that brought the federal government in and has been the main cause of all of these, of most of Nick Smith's agency being federally indicted. But he's not the only one. One measly issue. But let's go over a lot of, there's more than this, but we're going to talk about these. Height Jr., the Frederick Height Jr., unarmed, mentally ill man, shot and unalived in his own home. We've gone over that one in detail multiple times. Multiple inmate unalivings under suspicious and or neglectful circumstances in the Walker County Jail. Deputies abusing authority, caught in lies, and even admitting in messages that they pulled the trigger by accident. And Cindy says, I'll wait, because I can't think of any other complaints. That's the problem. People like her refuse to see what is right in front of their eyes. The same leaders she defends are the ones that's destroying public trust, covering up unalivings, and dragging that county deeper into lawsuits and national embarrassment. That's not nitpicking, Cindy. That's called holding people accountable for real damage to real human life that you refer to as one measly issue. So, Cindy, if you want to ignore all that and call it nitpicking, that's on you. But don't insult the families who have had to bury their loved ones because of this so-called leadership in Walker County. We're not talking about one mistake. We're talking about a pattern, very clear pattern. Until that county wakes up, there will be more families destroyed. That's what we're fighting against. That's why I'm not stopping. That's why others are not stopping. That's just the truth. And no amount of social media cheerleading is going to cover it up. None. Her words, her comment is so disrespectful. They're inhumane comment. Talking about this man that we now know was just suffering with a mental health episode. That could happen to any of us. All you people that don't have a problem with the way they're treating these mentally ill people that are dealing with these serious mental health episodes, a lot of times there's no rhyme or reason why that happens to people. Sometimes it just happens. I have seen it. I've sat in the probate judge's office during tons of these hearings in my career when family members and friends have to bring their loved one in there and they're so distraught and they're so upset because they don't know what to do because their family member that was completely normal and lived a completely successful normal life for years has now all of a sudden had a complete mental breakdown and they don't know what to do. That could happen to any of us. Now, I've had psychiatrists tell me that drug use can lead to some of these. So I'm not denying that. But as I said, I have witnessed firsthand tons and tons of cases to where there was no drug use, where the person did nothing to cause this. It's completely out of their control. Just like if you were to fall ill tomorrow with a major sickness that you can't help. We can't blame the victims. even though that's what some of you try to do. Well, you don't try to. That's what some of you do. You blame the victims. Now, this next comment we're going to talk about is from TikTok, and they don't have their, well, I don't guess it's their real name. It's possible. Their post is right here. Their screen name on TikTok is Veil Walker, Veil Walker. And this comment was made on my story I did on J.J. Jackson on the unaliving of Frederick Height Jr. This is their comment. Listen, I have no empathy for these people doing drugs from the gas stations. I'm guessing she's talking about the Delta 8. Very bad stuff. I'll agree with her completely. Don't do that. It is extremely unhealthy for you. We don't even know what it is. It's not natural like the green leafy substance. I promise you that. So that's bad stuff. My sister is just like that, and the family more than likely enabled their kid the entire time. Happens a lot, unfortunately. I'm honestly tired of getting people like that in the hospital trying to attack health care providers, and we aren't allowed to do jack shiz, and I can't even let my kids go to their grandparents' home because of the crazy drug addict. Guess what? She gets to live in their house again while I bust my butt as a single mom to provide everything for my kids. My drug addict sister gets to live rent-free. They pay her medical bills. They pay for her food, car insurance, gas, everything, which is over $1,000 a month, burning through their savings, while I don't get a dime, and they think after letting her back in their home that I'm going to take care of my sister and them once my dad passes away. Nope. Now, I have empathy for this person, whoever it is. As far as single mom, I'm not going to pretend I know what that's like. It is tough. I've seen a lot. I mean, that's a tough situation for most single moms. I'm sure she is struggling with all of that. It's a lot. Sounds like she's in health. She works in healthcare. I have all the respect in the world for healthcare workers. They have a tough job, and it's a job I don't want to do. And I've seen firsthand when they're having to deal with the people like she's talking about in healthcare. It sucks. There's no fun about it. Nobody wants to do it. I don't wish that upon anyone. So I empathize with her, what she has problems with. And I'm sure it's hard to see your parents give, because I've seen this. I've seen this with friends where parents, they enable their children. And I've talked to a lot of them trying to talk them out of this enabling. And so I'm sure it sucks for her to sit back and watch all of this. Again, my main point in all this, I have empathy for this person for what they're having to deal with their sister. I do. However, her next little comment down here is what throws all of this away and where I lose all respect for this person. So she clarifies. So for this one, I'm saying, okay. And she's talking about the unaliving of Frederick Height Jr. That's one less person that was going to continue to abuse drugs and never contribute to society or get better and more than likely drive under the influence. We are done with the addicts. I have a lot of problems with this statement, and any of you that follow me know how I feel about addicts. It's a love-hate relationship. Well over 90% of addicts are good people. I've worked with thousands of them. Well over 90% good people. They made some bad decisions, and they continue to make bad decisions, and they need help. And a lot of times they don't want help. So a lot of times you can't help them. But when they're clean, they're good people. And I've said numerous times, we can't just unalive all the addicts. That's evil and crazy. And talking about contributing to society, there are a bunch of former addicts that have changed the world once they got clean. Literally. I know some of them that's gone on and done amazing things. Some of you probably do too. That's why you can't write them off, because if they do change, and I said, unfortunately, a lot of them don't, but there are a lot of them that do too. And I mean, I've seen, as I said, most of you, some of them, once they get straight, they change the world because they have been through struggles that us that's never dealt with that have, and they overcame one of the toughest struggles that you can as a human being. That's why they're so tough, and that's why when they do get clean, if they do, they go on and do amazing, great things. I have very close family members in that situation that let their life rot away for a long time, but thank God they finally got straight, and now they live normal lives and they contribute a ton to society. a ton. But Val Walker, just she's okay. She's okay with some of them being unalived just because of her situation. I have a lot of issues with this statement. But again, as I go back, this unfortunately is the mindset of some people in Walker County and other places too. I don't mean to just be picking on Walker County in this situation. It's just that's the county that needs the most help and needs to change the most. And when I see people that make these comments because they don't want change, it's sad. It's very sad. And again, if she would have stopped with her first comment, I have no issues with her. I have a very blessed life now. Now, I've had struggles as most people have. I'm very blessed now. So I don't sit back on my high horse and look down at people just because they don't have it as good as me. That's called bullies. And I can't stand a bully. If you couldn't tell, that's what I'm doing. I'm standing up against bullies is what I'm trying my best to do, to help the people that need help, to help the people that no one else would help. But her second comment, she threw it all away. And also, I've not seen any evidence, and I've read all the reports. I've not seen any evidence that Frederick Height Jr. was loaded down with rugs that day. I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm saying I don't know. I'm saying I have not seen any evidence of that. We have to do better.